Hello, everyone. We have a couple people on. Nope, not Blaze. Right. The market. What's up? What's up, cultivating? The market just like, guess what? All the news happening, it just kind of like started moving right at the open. At 6 o'clock, it just started dropping, and oil pumped. Look at oil. Oil's at 93, 94, man. That's crazy, and it's crazy volatile as well. So the movements are violent after hours. I guess that they said some. I'll put up some news now. X didn't go live for some reason. I don't know why. Let me get this up and running. What do you got? So what's up, Frankie? Gonna put on looking for some news. See what's going on. Sorry, guys. Let me do this. What do we have? So Iran war. Trump will release 172 million barrels of oil for strategic partners. So that's the issue that that Iran knows that oil is affecting us, right? And it will affect the economy. I'm eating popcorn. My bad. It'll affect the economy. So they they're doing that on purpose. They're scaring and they're doing all this stuff to affect the oil because the further oil goes up, gas prices go up. Shipping, everything goes up, and then it affects inflation overall. So Trump, I know there's some strategic reserves that we have that we never use. So I guess he's releasing now because we have plenty of oil. So I guess, but everybody's used to us using oil from abroad, but we have our own oil, so that's something that the markets have to calm down. Um, by me, gas hasn't gone up here or anything. We have to see next CPI numbers. I think this one came in flat, which I figured, but the next month we have to see if it's inflation is starting to tick up because of this. Paper trade until I get a prop. NQ up 905. ES nice, very nice. Cool, man. Yeah, you traded the volatility, huh? Which is good. So we got the oil is at 92.7. The 10-year bond is at 44.25. Silver's at 84. Silver's held its own. I thought silver's going to drop a bit, but silver and gold has been holding good price. What else do we have here? Dow futures tumble. The Dow futures is the YM, guys. If just in case you don't know, it's the YM, and then that would be the Dow futures, the ticker. Anything else here? The future of fitted portion. 5 things to know about Iran, the supreme leader. It's basically the son of that guy. This is millions of oil barrels to China. through the Strait of Hormuz. What's up, back off? All right, let's look at the charts again. Got to figure out a way to switch this quicker. Good evening, Jack. We're looking at let me do this. We're looking at futures right now is down. We got the NQ at the top left and the ES on the top right. These are the the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 derivatives, and we got oil at the bottom. So oil right now is hitting new highs and it's tapping new highs. So we have to see if it finds the top and then maybe starts rolling over. And if it rolls over, then maybe you can get a trade down. But this is a bit volatile. I would be careful. Let's look at the SPY. Sorry. Let's check the SPY here. Let's go to the 1 hour chart real quick. There we go. So we got Sunday's low, which is at play. Sunday's low at 6,584.50. This is honestly at play. We got this nice little trend here that's pretty much breaking. So this is really much at play. So now this fib, I want to move it. So I'm going to move it to next week, to a previous week. So let's do previous week low. See what happens. Well, that was the low. So we're going to have to go back more. Sorry, I did it wrong. So previous week high, previous week low. See how it looks. All right. And the previous month low. This should be the last pivot low. I don't know why it's doing that. Please don't forget to, yep. Good evening. So what's up, ladies? So looking at the hour, we have the previous pivot here was at 6584, and to me that's at play right now. Unless we see a reversal, but that's right now that's at play. We're gonna try to fix this pivot. I don't know why. Yes. That was the last pair. I guess it's looking at this pivot. I gotta fix that. Just take it off for now. So this right now is at play. What pivots? What areas of structure do we have on the way up? This would be one here, which we're pretty close to it. Another one here. Right? I'm putting it not at the wick. Okay, so those are areas I like to watch if it's going to bounce here, because this is where it bounced last. So it might find some structure here and go up again and then retest to come down lower. So that's what you want to know. That's what you want to know, because if you want to go short thinking that you're going to swing this, know what you're going to find on the way down, right? And on the way down, we have this area of structure, we have this area of structure, and then we have the nice little light demand zone here with the pivot. So this would be a great trade if we can get a move back up and then a reversal back down. But for now, let's watch it. It's on the hour, so I plotted that. Now I go to my lower time frame. I just go to my 5 minutes to see, and then we'll watch that on the 5 minute. And there we go. So on the 5 minute, look at, we have this nice demand zone there, supply zone up there, and a nice little 1 hour area of structure. So let's see what it does. Let's watch that. Let's do the same for the NASDAQ. NASDAQ the same. There's a fair value gap here, which is pretty much broke into. So we might find some, area here. Okay. I'm in a 30 minute. Let me go to 1 minute, 1 hour. And I'm doing this 1 hour because we're trading, this session, right? So we don't want to go too far back. This is enough. So here we have structure there again. You see that? We have a nice little thing here. So a nice little fair value gap. There's a fair value gap that the algo is showing. So let's just use this fair value gap as an area, right, of interest or maybe possible support. And then I would just call this whole thing down here, an important area. Actually, we had a line down here before, so this was important before. Oh yes, it's the famous 24,000, right? That's a thousand marker, a centennial marker. So that's always that's always psychological, right? So we have this area here that we might find some. You know what? I'll bring it up like that. We might find some support on the way down. Plus, we got this trend line liquidity there that the algo showing. So you see how it's starting to find some, support here. So it's gonna have to struggle, break this down, right? So we want to see if we can get any shorts, maybe break a short, maybe off of a rejection off of the 200 EMA and the bottom of today's range. Okay, so I'll leave that like that. Now we know that the 200 is here. And we got a 200 here lining up with the trend line. So you see these are nice areas where if it comes back up again, I would like to see a rejection anywhere on here to see if it'll continue with the downtrend. But for now, it probably goes sideways. So, things are getting again slow. Everything rushed in at 6 and then now it's slowed down. So now we'll wait a little bit. Let's see. Anybody want to see something in particular? I'm having issues going live on Twitter. So there's not much we can do there. Blaze. It's giving me problems with Twitter. Let me see. You have wrote to me, right, Blaze? Okay. Never traded futures? Yeah, futures. I've been mentioning it before. You're in the right place because that's what right now. This channel, I want to focus it on getting, for every trader, even futures and for beginners. But I would love to talk more to beginners as well, so they can see the difference. And even if you're a stock trader or a day trader, intraday trader, it's good to see what's happening in the futures market because the futures market will the futures market will dictate more or less what's going to happen at the open, right? If it's going to open gap down right now, We know for sure that the Nasdaq and the Dow, the Nasdaq, the Dow, the SPY, the S&P 500, they're all going to open up gap down unless something happens overnight where it just reverses really strong, right? So for now we're on our way down, and that's good to know. You could also trade it, right? You could also trade it. It's simpler than trading options. It's a contract that you're trading, and the contract is very simple. It's you use a broker, and then it's either you use a broker or a prop firm that uses a broker, and then they have leverage. So you're obviously not you don't need the right now it's at 6,722, right? You don't need $6,722 to buy one contract. You just need some brokers are $50 and other ones are 500 in the account. And I would say start with 1,000 to 5,000. 5,000 better if you're going to trade with your own money. And if you're going to trade with a prop firm, then we have a couple of prop firms that we're partnering with that we'll be putting up soon. Our codes, so you can get some discounts and stuff. We'll be giving away some prop firm. We'll be doing some prop firm giveaways soon too. We're just trying to get organized a bit, but that's all coming, so it's gonna be cool. Yeah, Thorn, what's up? I don't know, Blaze, are you still there? Um, let's see. Interesting. I'm looking for something. Oh, can't do it like that. I'm looking for something, guys. 1 second. Let me see. Hey, Rob. How is futures different from day trading? Yeah, I'll answer in a second. 1 second. I'm just trying to check something real fast, and I'll answer you. I'm done. No problem. I just don't know why. Mm, oh, come on. So yeah. So the difference is that futures is a contract that you're trading, and it's basically a market that trades overnight, or it trades overnight and during the day too. the day session, and this is the Asia session right now. But they're contracts basically. So you're not trading like a particular stock. You're trading the actual derivative. In this case, if it's the ES or the NQ, you're trading the derivative, right? So it's like and it's trading like the future, where the price might be in the future. That's why they call it futures. So you have like the March. Some futures have a March contract, like monthly. Others have like every I think it's 2 or 3 months out. So some people might be trading March, some other people might be trading a June contract or July, right, in the future, and they all have less liquidity there. But these are great because the big players usually use these types of contracts to hedge the market. So if they're short maybe and they need to hedge their positions, or maybe just a regular you want to hedge your portfolio, a big portfolio that you may have, and you want to hedge it with something like this, you could do that. But a lot of people just use it to like trade in and out. And the great thing is that you could literally just like go short or sell a contract or buy a contract. It's leveraged, so you don't need that actual amount. The broker will tell you you have a margin account. So the broker will tell you, well, you need at least $500 of margin to be able to trade one contract, let's say, or $50 to trade one contract. Overnight, it changes a bit. So we're gonna have a little class. There is a class they put on. I think Dan put one in the a good explainer video in the futures channel in the Discord. It's 127 Norway. Nice. Welcome from Norway. That's cool. Less chaos over there, I bet. Over here it's a mess with all this news of war and everything going on in the Middle East. So let me go back here. So I was explaining, we already have our levels there. I'm gonna print out the options levels as well, the volume levels that I plot out, and that'll help us as well. The end of day volume. So right here, it looks like oil is topping a bit. Let's see if something happens and it pops even harder, or if it's just gonna stay. It's gonna flatten out there. I would say the target is $100. It's getting super slow again. So the crazy thing is that it's been moving after we get off. What's up, Sharp Fitting? You're in Manchester? Nice. It's early in the morning, yeah. Yep. So do you trade during the day as well, like stocks? Because then you're probably up at night, right? That's why sometimes for you guys, it's great to trade now, because you can trade futures now, and you can get some nice moves. Sometimes at midnight is a good time for you guys to trade futures. Peace be with you anytime soon. Amen. Yes, same to you. Thank you. So we're seeing here, it's the earlier for you. Yeah. But if you don't trade futures, think about it. Paper trader. Oh, I was telling people last time. I think I was going to say it. I didn't. I don't know if I said it. But if you guys want, now that we're going to start getting on, and you want to start trading futures, just go into your just go right here. I'm gonna give you an example, right? Let me give you an example here. Right? You're gonna hit trade at the top here, and then just go to TradingView paper trade, and you're gonna hit paper trade, okay? And then now you can literally paper trade this, right? And it will be trading just like if we were trading for real. So you could practice trading from the chart here, okay? And then you could trade along with me if you want, or if I put, say something that you guys want to try, then you try it. And you could practice along without having to get an account somewhere else and doing all this other stuff. For now, you could just paper trade it with TradingView. Yeah, Take Profit Trader is good. I actually have a code for them. That's the code if you want to scan it at the top right. That's Take Profit Trader my referral code. So if you use it, that supports me. I'll leave it there for a little bit. Exactly, yeah. Prop firms are the best. I when I started trading, there wasn't much prop firms, and yeah, you put money in, you lose it, you put it back. You lose $1,000 here, 2,000, then 5,000, then 6,000, and it adds up, right? Now with this, you're just paying a small fee for the eval, and then it could be some are $100, others sometimes are on sale for $50. It depends on the prop firm, and then from there, if you lose it, you lose it, and you just what you lost, $50, $100, better than 1,000, right? Can you pivot your futures? Yeah, I was just showing that. So again, I'll show you guys. If you want to start following along and you're learning futures, the best thing to do right now, if you want, is either get a prop firm or come here in TradingView. And at the top right, if you see here, I put my mouse up here. Oh, you don't see it. Let me take this out real quick. So up here at the top right, you're going to see a button that trade, or at the bottom, you're going to see trade. And then you're going to have a paper trading. So let me log out again. You hit trade. See, and you're going to have all the different companies that you could connect, the brokers that you could connect to. But then they have their own. It's called paper trading from TradingView. You click on that, you connect, and now you can trade. Now you can go along and trade. Look, I can go here. And let's say I want to take a short right here. I could just go here, sell at market, or I can put a little right click, and then I'm going to do sell one contract. I'm going to let it go up and tap me maybe. Let's see if it taps me and gets in. There it is. We're in. Now you can just paper trade that. This is the micro oil. So if this oil is going to drop, we might catch it and get out here. So then here, what I do is you'll take profit. Yeah, I'm going to put my take profit near this EMA there. And then I'll put my stop loss right there. You know what? I can make it a little wider. And then right there. Whoop. So right now we're green on this paper trade with oil. See if there's a continuation down. If there is, this will continue to go up because they're inversely correlating. Let me go back to the comments. Yeah. Yep. Apex kind of, I was an affiliate with them and they took me out for a bit. And I told them I'm going to start trading. I'm going to start trading live again and getting, but they kicked me out as an affiliate because I guess I'm not big enough. So whatever, we'll get we have some other platforms that are going to start working with us. So is it on the 3-minute chart? This is the 3-minute chart, I believe. Yes. Oh, 5-minute. Oh, 3 minutes. Sorry. Yes. 3-minute. So I'm trading this trend here and this breakdown of this structure here. So in a paper trade, let's see if it continues down. If it doesn't, then we'll get out. But so far, so good. We're green. I just wanted to show you guys how to, how you could do paper trading on TradingView. And it's that simple. For Don as well that asked, that's how simple it is, Don. You literally just like right click sell, right click buy, or hit buy or sell here, and you're done. No, no Greeks involved. It's not like an options contract. Okay, I'll check it out. Thank you for that, Lucid. I'll try them out. I mean, I sold here at the bottom because I wanted to show you guys. It wasn't really. I sold at the bottom of here, so you just expect this to break out there. Any a good sell would be anywhere in this area up here where it's been rejecting off of it. But if we get a continuation, that'll be it. Now we'll get stopped out. See here, I have a 2-to-1, $88, and I'm risking 48 to make 88. On the ES here, I had mentioned that there's support here because there's an area of the 1 hour chart. There was some structure there. So this is the 1 hour, that 1 hour support, or that structure in the 1 hour. So it's like just a little above it, it's finding some support. So we'll see. Trying to see if I can get the stream to work on X, but it's not working. And why isn't this? Nothing's working. What the heck? It's like, let me close some things here. I hear my computer like screaming. It could be that. It's just slow. All right. Yeah, it's getting so. You guys hear me, right? Fine? Yep, thanks. Trying to close some stuff out of my computer because it's like I have a lot running. When I stream and I have TradingView on, that's always a problem. When I was with Blaze sometimes, that used to happen to me all the time. Yeah, I got this is just this is an energy drink I put in the cup. Awesome. I want some popcorn. Look at that. You saw that? It was dropping nice, and it just went bloop. What's up, War Machine? I don't know if Blaze is here. Blaze is here still, or he's. I mean, he's all day streaming, man. I know he must be tired. No, the car was fine. The car wasn't like, it's not that it's not working. It was the compressor of the air conditioner. It it died. Excuse me. It died, so I had to take it to the dealer so they can change the compressor. But they still gotta order the part and they gotta get it, so it's a pain. Since I'm all day doing stuff, I had to like leave it there to go get it, in the evening, and so it was the compressor of the car. So no air conditioning, and I'm in Florida, and it's been getting warm again. Beautiful. Come on, tap us out. Yeah, uh, we gotta wait for Blaze to be on, man. So at the top we have NQ and the ES, and then we got the oil. Which is the top three that we watched. It. You could trade oil, gold, silver, oil, silver, gold, the Dow. Usually the Dow will move very similar to the NQ and to the SPY, S&P 500. And then you have oil and stuff that sometimes inversely correlate gold and stuff. Let's see if this rejects here, comes down and takes us out. And that paper trade would have worked nicely. So when I'm doing this stuff, I'm going to tell you my mindset behind the trades or what I'm seeing in the chart, just in case you guys want to, so you could see a bit like maybe why I would get out of a trade if it's close to my stop, to my profit target, but since overnight, the liquidity is very, it's not as much. Sometimes a small, transaction will make the will move like a momentum stock, right? It'll spike it up a lot. So sometimes it's worth, if you're close to your profit target, and it's like coming down, but it's not, and it's just playing games. I would just cut it there, just to get my max profit there. And if it continues to drop, fine, but my profit was going to be there anyway. So just want to kind of like let you know my mindset behind what I do sometimes on the trade. Um, and of course, for people that are new to to um to futures, it gets slow sometimes overnight. You know, not sometimes, most of the time. Sometimes it gets a little more wilder, but like at the open today at 6, it kind of dropped and it moved a little harder. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So you could just get an account with, let's say, with Trade Evade, or they're the same as Ninja Trader, Trade Station, stuff like that. And they at Weibo, I think, has futures too. Don, now they have futures, so you just deposit, cash, and then they'll give you a margin. So they'll tell you, in order to trade the ES, you would need $50, per contract. So if you have more than $50, then you're gonna be able to trade that contract. The minute you hit that threshold, you're done, right? Your money, you're liquidated. So it's always good to start 1,000, 5,000, and then trade small. This is the ES right here. You see the micro crude, but you can trade the micro or the minis. The minis are more expensive, and but then the ticks are more. The ticks are like by how much it moves. The ES and the NQ, they're also more expensive, and you make quicker money. But then they have a micro version which is cheaper and it's great to start. Like the ES will move at $1.50 increments, um, and then let's say when you're in the minis, then there will be $12.50 increments. I'm looking for the YouTube link here real quick. Yep, looking good. The trade worked out good. Mm, the best time frame. So it depends on how you trade. I like the 3 minute because it's fast enough, but it's not. It's how would I say it? It's not fat. It's fast, but not enough to it'll fake you out less than the 1 minute. But then it's not as slow as the 5 minute, right? So to me, is a nice entry time frame. It's a nice time frame for my entry chart. You see what I had mentioned, guys? Look at how it wicked right to my profit target, like by one tick, 1 cent. Look at that, and then it just ripped right up. You see how futures is sometimes. That's why when I see it sometimes do that, I had mentioned earlier, I get out there because they do that. Look at how crazy that is. Right here is my profit target, and right there it wicked, and it didn't touch me, and now I just ripped up. You see that? So that's why I say futures is you gotta watch it, because when it does stuff like that, is when you do stuff like that, it's they get you, because right there I was up almost $80, and then now I'm only 30, 20 something. So that's why I say you gotta watch it. There's a paper trade. I wanted to show to the newer traders that you could paper trade on TradingView, and it's very simple. And then you guys can trade along with me, right, and just practice, entries and stuff. So the 3 minute I like a lot. And then what stock is the mini? That's the contract. So in futures, you have a mini contract and a micro contract. Micro contracts just came online, I would say like maybe three years ago. It's very recent, believe it or not, less than 5 years. And it was for those traders that wanted to get into futures, but they couldn't afford, the bigger contract, which is the mini. It's called mini, but it's still a big contract, right? Because they move in $12.50 increments. So every ticket moves, it's $12.50 that you're either winning or losing. Here, if you see the micro crude, it's moving in dollar increments. See how it goes 13, 14, like that? Moves in dollar increments. And then the mini contract, I forgot. It's pretty big. It moves quicker. And it's per, I think it's per point something cents. I forgot. So it depends. But I think what I'll do is I'll put up a nice little chart. I'll get a little chart for maybe one of these streams, and then I'll just show it to you guys, and you can see how futures works. How the contracts move, how much each tick and stuff like that. How much you need in margin sometimes per contract. We could do something like that since we're getting a lot of newer traders. So this scammy, guys, look at that. Right here. Look at how crazy that is. Look at that right there. This is our profit target right there. And I did that. Now it's gonna rip up. Oh, I would say stocks is safer, because futures is a bit complicated in the sense that you got to go through these brokers. You have to have like, the swings are very crazy. So I'll give you an example. I'll just go to the S&P 500, right? This is the S&P 500, the derivative, and look at this. Like, look at how it ran up. All this in like less than, or right here. This is yesterday and today, right? The 10th and today. And look at how wide those ranges are, the swings, so it's a bit safer. The stocks, stocks are a bit safer, especially if you're in a bigger, larger cap stock, But these are great to swing if you have a cash account. What's up, Dan? I thought you were gonna be knocked out. You're still dealing with the jet lag, right? Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. So you'll get margin. The margin call you, and if you leave it there and it just goes negative, and then they're gonna liquidate you, and they're gonna ask you for that. You're gonna have to put that money back in the account. So I was showing them then that I was telling a lot of the newer traders here that if they want, they could just go into TradingView and just hit paper trade. This is a paper trade I did here. And they could follow along with us, right? If they want paper trading, and get used to the price action. And I was saying earlier that, my mindset behind some trades sometimes is that if I have my profit there, and it's getting really close to my profit, I'll most likely cut it because I know that in futures it swings up, right? It could swing up and go against you like in one tick by one tick because of the low liquidity at that time. And it actually did it. Look at that. It went right here and it popped up and it almost hit my target and then it just ripped right back up to my entry almost. So if I see something like that happening where I see it come down like that, oh, and that's another thing that'll happen with oil a lot, gold, silver. They're like Blaze says, they're crackheads. I usually have more people on, but today Twitter didn't come on. The stream is not running through Twitter. Yeah, an error occurred. It's usually temporary. Wait a minute, then try again. I waited a lot of minutes. Still happening. So oil's moving. Oil's tradable. Just a little while, but it's moving a little more than the NQ. Now I'll tell you this much: we have been, I have been giving my what is it, my bias and my thesis in the overnight sessions, and they've been playing out. You guys got to admit it. The ones who've been following me, we got off the other night, and it dropped all the way to the bottom of the range where I had marked and everything. So our levels have been really good. Our levels have been really good. What's up, Archer? Thanks, bro. I'm in an NQ long since 760, looking for 805. Nice. 760, yeah, right near the bottom, exactly. And you want to take it to where? 805? Yeah, you might get it now. Just need that little bounce. Yeah, there it is, almost. Thanks for joining, Archer. I freaking get the munchies at night. Okay. So if you see me munching, my bad. I moved it up just under view. Nice. Okay. Yeah. This is a nice little. You gotta see. Well, now you got a red there. See, oil's pumping, so it's gonna bring some pressure to NQ, and oil's moving back up, so it's gonna bring pressure to them. There it is. There it is. Oh, come on. No food for. Oh my god. Blaze is here, guys. Blaze is here. We went to Vegas, right? And we had a great time over there. But Blaze was always like having to like run from all these, people that we find over there all the time.
You run, but you no escape. We catch you, little man.
Help! They're crazy!
You like game of chase? Run faster, Slovak.
Let's do it. Thorn is here. Thorn, tell me you saw that. Your turn for. He said, "Wow, For the new people, the overnight people here, the Asian session people, guys, during the day, he roasts me bad. He has videos of me of like cartoons, and we were trading and we went to Vegas, and then I'm not a gambler, right? But I would get on the slot machines. So then I got on the slot machine, and I was just like, and I would just kept losing and losing. I'm like, this is terrible. Then I look around, and Peter was with us, and he was doing super good. He made like from $100, he made it to 500. See, yep, I had to, babe. I had some help though. Yeah, there he is. There he is. That was Thorn. He helped me out with that. Thanks, bro. The funny thing is that, but the funny thing is that Thorn did that, and then he's writing to me. He's like, "Oh Lord, I hope Blaze forgives me." He's like, "I hope Blaze forgives me, man." That was so good. I'm so happy. Yes, Dan. You know what my name stands for? I'm afraid to ask. I'm afraid to ask, Thorn. We had more people. We had more people, and when I put that video, they logged off. Oh my god. Oh, Thorn in your saddle. Yeah, it's good. There it is. Come on, oil. Just hit me. Take me out of there. Make me look good. I was telling them days that they can, they could paper trade on TradingView with us, So we have a lot of new people. So if they just want to, get their feet wet with the price action and the movement and stuff, they can do that. I'll do this. Look, I'll move it up because I'm moving it up above that 50 EMA. That was so funny. Oh my god. That is too loud. My bad. My bad. I'm still learning these controls. Well, you see how frustrating sometimes futures can be? Look, it just like stays there, goes down, comes right back up, and you're like, Lord of mercy, hurry up. I did then. It's already queued. It's already queued. Just want to see if this hits. All that for $75. So if I had two contracts, you stop loss got hit, yeah. If I had two contracts, it will be double that, right? Or triple that. So the more contracts you put, the higher. There it is. It's about to hit. Come on now. Are you kidding me? It's going to pop back up again. Look at that. You see? Could I leave it there? See if it hits me. I think it is. MACD is negative. A lot of sellers here coming in. More sellers coming in there. You see that? Came in. I'm looking at the algo bar at the top here. This here is the cumulative delta, and it's showing us buying versus selling. So the bottom is the sellers, and they're overtaking the buyers by a lot. So that's why it's pink. So you got 1,000 contracts there versus 285, and there it is. It's just like little by little, and those are contracts already executed, not orders being put in like in the like a level 2. It's more just actually executed. Luna was sorry guys, that's my BTC alert. Let me just take this off. It's pissing me off. Come on. Okay, what's the news? Oil ports have completely stopped operations. Commercial ports continue to operate after attack on fuel tanker per state news. That news did it. Yep. He said we just saw also in on CNBC that he's releasing, I forgot how many barrels from the strategic reserve. So we have enough oil, honestly. We have enough oil. But no, ships are not safe. But we have enough oil. Come on, just flip right back down. Tap that 50 and get me out. It is temporary, yeah. Boom. Beautiful. There it is. Hold on. So do it for me. You online? You watching me, Blaze? Are you watching me? Then do it. Do it for me. Lord have mercy. Look, I'm gonna show you this. So guys, this is something else that we have to help our fearless leader because he has an issue with his height, right? So this is what happens.
I told them all. Step ladders. They are my life. Every single one.
Blaze, I'm new. Blaze is I'm gonna tell. Listen, I'm trying. Blaze is texting me about all the stuff I should be doing when I'm on the freaking live that I should be putting in the chat of these all this like I'm new, and I get out. I'm working all day, so I rush to take my son to then come back and get on time to be able to stream. And I'm not like I know I gotta get better at this, but Blaze, you're pissing me off. Help me, bro. Then post it for me. It's war. That's right. We're gonna have the hot trades day, hot trade stocks versus hot trades futures. We're gonna have a feud. We're gonna have a feud. So it's on, Blaze. It's on. Look, he's even mad because I'm snacking. It's 9 o'clock. I gotta snack. I gotta feed these. Look, I gotta feed these. Let's go. Let's go, Dan. So where do you do that, Blaze? You're in the. I'm trying to look at the. Oh Lord, I feel pressured. I didn't know you did all that. You see, Blaze does a lot in the background that we don't know. I thought he just he was some YouTube diva that made me do all the work. Read out loud what I said. What did you say? Blaze is going to talk about depot stock since lots of step ladders will be sold during wartime. Wait, do I have something for that? That's for Luna. That's for you, Luna. Damn, that's true though. We don't got a lot of people on here. Another thing, Blaze, is that the Twitter feed is not working. We had it work when we had it working. I had double. I had at least 60 people or more. So I need you to fix it. Yeah, we used to call it like that. Hot Trees After Dark. When Blaze would come on and when the crypto craziness was happening. Oh God, here we go. 3 hours of reading, 0 minutes of trading, making Puerto Ricans look bad. Wow. Yeah, Peter's team Blaze. Dan is team Rob. Here we go. Dan, we gotta do something because Luna, whose team are you on? Don't tell me you're in the middle. Whose team are you on? Let me know. Blaze, I can't get on this. This site is like all slow and post. Well, I see what you said. Okay, let me see. Interesting. I see. You're not putting it at, look, and this here we have there's the stock, hot trade stocks, and you have your own template. I have mine. What did that come up? What did that come up? And I have mine. You're not touching mine, bro. What is that? Oh, for now. Blaze, I offer Blaze material for 58,000. He said no. And you can see it's by all of them. Yeah. All right. So I'm there now. Let me see. I'm gonna post it there. But I put my mouse in that site and it just gets slow. Everything's like, all right, nice. And then I'm gonna do. Can I? I need Blaze. I need a Mac. I need a Mac Studio, so I could stream and do all the stuff you want me to do. Doesn't cost a lot. You're a millionaire. You're an African prince of something that has a lot of gold. Blaze is that has me pressured because Blaze is like, don't. Blaze is telling me like, don't f this up, don't f my streams up, don't f my channel up. There, posted. I did. I just did. I just did. Peter, you want to see something, Peter? You want to see something, Peter?
You run, but you no escape. We catch you, little man.
Help! They're crazy!
You like game of chase? Run faster, Slovak.
It's on. Luna. Shh. To our new traders, when the market is slow, we roast. Run faster, Slovak. Yeah, that was Thor that did that. That was so funny. Actually, that's exactly what happened to Peter. I should do it. I should do it for you, Peter. Basically, like if you, that's right. Yeah, you missed a lot. You know why, Miami? Dr. Rob, because you got on at 7:30 and you started roasting me that I wasn't on because my car was messed up. So you missed the whole hour. So now I got to roast you. Operation Ruin Rob. It's not gonna happen. We have it. We have. Oh Lord, Dan. We got like we're doing the hot trades wars. You remember WWE? You had Raw versus SmackDown. So now we got hot trades stocks versus hot trades futures. And I think we are 2-1 right about now. No, actually, Luna's too quiet. She didn't say whose team she's on. Oil is dropping a bit more now. Oil is dropping. We have a wedge here forming. If you see that, we have the this is a standard deviation band that I have on. But if you see here, let me just extend this pivot real quick. Okay, these are areas. Why am I posting this? Because I want to show you guys my thought process, right? So these are areas where you might find resistance on the way, or support, sorry, on the way down. So boom, we might find here, it breaks through. Then we got this one here, and then we're gonna find here. So my thesis is it could probably drop to this pivot here, which lines up with the trend line, and we can maybe, wedge in here. If that happens, it's gonna give some strength to the to a Nasdaq and the NQ and the ES. Let me see. Let me catch up. Hold on. I haven't caught up. Rob making it up. He didn't want to spring for the with the. Oh my God! So now I got War Machine. I thought you guys were on my side. It was the air conditioning, the compressor. So I have no air conditioner. You, Josh, what's up? Yes. Yep. I can't provide whatever. Yep, exactly. And it got warm. It got warm over here. So, and then the dealers, and then so my car is so now the later cars, they tell you the air conditioning that they use, the Freon or whatever they call it, the refrigerant, you can't get you can't go to any shop so they could recharge it. It has to be whatever, but it wasn't a recharge either. It was the compressor plus recharge it. So then the dealer wants to might as well buy a new car. We might be reversing here, Dan, on the NQ. This is a reversal pattern right there. Huh? You know that, Luna, huh? This is a reversal pattern. Look at that. Boom, doji, let's go. Dr. Roberts is Cuban. Right? You Cuban, right? Yeah. Yes. We're still on a strong downtrend though. This is the hour candle. Let me go to the 3-minute. That was the hourly though. Just realized that was the hour candle. It's been struggling. So in that hour, it did all this. And there it goes. Look, the pivot. See, it's always important. In hot trades, we always say look left. Look left. Why do we look left? Because if we're dropping, you want to see what was the last time. What did the chart do? What did price action do before? And it created a pivot. So the algo shows you there was a pivot here on the left. That's why we have pivots. So when it comes down, look what it did. I just put this little line to extend the pivot. And guess what it did? Look at that. It went right into this here and start popping up a bit because there's liquidity here, right? So it has to break that down. And then now we go to the next pivot. So you step down and and now here we have what? Trend line liquidity. So now it's going to find some resistance here. Okay. And we're inside a wedge. So it might just come dropping down again. So that's what technical analysis is. You guys are like going ham on the thing here. Oh yeah, it's I just talked to Don privately about it today. Cuban, yo, 100% gringo. Oh, that's right. You're white, right? I forgot. You gringo, man. I forgot about that. God, in Russian in Vegas. Still have to break the downtrend right up. Yep. Yeah, and it when it breaks this, it usually breaks it with an impulse. So if it doesn't, it'll probably come right back down again. We'll see. Here, we're hitting that. This is the view up, right? Yep. You went out? Solite. Okay. It's not on though. It's on? Oh. Voy a hacer un poquito para I'm talking in mute. Oh God, I'm laughing at something that Dan sent me. I said, Dan, that's gonna be our secret weapon. Can't use that right now. I can't believe you have that. Oh my God. Yep. Yep. We have to somehow send a message that we have it, so then it could calm them down. We have to figure out how do we send them a message. Oh my God. Did it post, please? What I posted? Did you see it on your end? Thanks, Dan. No, I got munchies, but not that. I don't. Not me, bro. But I don't need that for to have the munchies. Blaze, I need you to focus. One second. Popcorn. Popcorn. This is a this is this is a what is it? A slim Jim. It look different though, right? It's a slim Jim. Unbelievable, Peter. But not for nothing. I kind of like that picture. It's not. Oh, wait a minute. I just noticed what's on the table. I thought it was just me, like in a thing on a table. I did not notice that. Unbelievable. That's just like terrible, honestly. We got something for you, Peter. Calm down, Peter. We got something for you. I think you should calm down. What do you think, Dan? He should calm down, right? There's popcorn, yeah. Oh yeah, and popcorn. Crap. I'm not looking at the yeah. Knowing that ESNQ is popping a little bit, I don't think oil, I don't know. It has a lot of resistance there. Yeah, it did. It's breaking out. So we have, what do we have here? Another, we have this here, right? A wedge on both. We're on a nice downtrend. So you know that downtrends could be met with, lower lows. So we have to see it is breaking the view up here. So we have to see if it breaks these levels here, right? This area of structure here, you see, we look left, and right here it should find some resistance. It is a bear flag. Exactly. This could be a bear flag. So we have to be careful that we're not met with some resistance. I'm gonna get fired, guys. Blaze is gonna fire me. Blaze, I can't do that. Like you say, too much work. I'll do that next time. I gotta like freaking figure it out. You can all right. Let me see. I can't do this. What the hell? It's too much. Where do I get the link? Lord of mercy. I did that, Blaze. Did you see it? I don't see it when I post it. No te voy a enseñar. So we're going back up. Hopefully we're gonna hit this. I don't know. It looks like it's moving up slowly. Everything is moving up. Actually, they're moving together now. Yes. Yep. Slow move up. I don't know. I still feel like this can reverse a bit. I still feel it can reverse. I want to see. Look. Well, let me go back to ES. I just want to see something here. We have this level here that we set on the 1 hour. So it has some room to move. Definitely have to see 6,750. What's going to happen at 6,750? $6,750 is going to be most likely an area, or we have this on the way too. We have this area here of structure for it to reject. And if it reject, most likely the rejections will be harder than the pumps because we're on a downtrend, on the overall higher time frame. On the 5-minute here, the algo says uptrend because it's the trend on the on that leg up, not on the overall. So that's what I look for. So anywhere around this area here, it's already finding some, look, because there's a wick here. So right around this area, we're going to find some resistance. And Q already made it to the supply zone here. If you can see it, there's a supply zone right there, and it's finding some resistance. And oil starting to make a move back up again. So most likely oil is going to go test those session highs again. These session highs. I don't know. Blazes off and on. For I do sometimes just to see more or less what it's doing, but I like to go either. I usually do 4 hour, 1 hour, and then 15-minute, and then the 3-minute is my entry. But since we're on the lives, I just want to show like a lower time frame, and I'm showing 3 different charts so we can cover a bit of everything. But if you see, these are the charts where I would take my entries on the 3-minute. Then I mark my levels, right? I mark more or less what it's going to do here. Here it's going to find some resistance or touch it, and then really rip higher because that's where they'll trap people, right? It was a nice move here off of this trend line or off of the EMA, the 50 EMA and the VWAP. Here we have the 50, the VWAP, tested on it and bounced. Easy, but not exactly. Yep. So oil, we're at session highs. So we have ways to move up after this dump that it did at the open for the NQ and the ES. Here it is. So IA's oil reserve release plan likely falls short of filling supply losses. Interesting. That's why it's moving back up because they're feeling that the reserves is not going to do enough. So the IEA's plan to release 400 million barrels of oil from reserves falls short of filling supply losses from the Persian Gulf. ING's commodity strategy team says in a note, as part of the coordinated action, the U.S. will begin releasing 172 million barrels from its strategic petroleum reserves from next week. So that's starting next week. This will take roughly 120 days to complete and works out to a U.S. release of around 1.4 million barrels per day. If you assume a similar timeline for other countries, that works out to 3.3 million barrels a day, far short of the supply losses we are seeing. So that's actually something interesting, and this has happened before. The U.S. does that. They'll say we're going to. I think Biden did that. We're gonna use the reserves, but it's only just to kind of like phase people out, make them think that it's, okay, no worries, no big deal. But in reality, what they're releasing is not enough to cover the demand, the usual demand, which they say there's almost 3.3 million barrels a day, and they're only going to release up to 1.2. So that to me is just noise to try to calm down the market. But the market's not dumb. The market is not dumb. That's why you see it. See, futures now moving up, oil moving up, and ES again finding that resistance where we expected here on the supply zone. Yeah. I mean, that's what the reserves are for. Supposedly we have more oil than most, but we never use it. So there's the time to use it. But, that part I still want to understand why we don't use it as much. Just to shut everyone else up. We don't need the oil from the Middle East. There it is. There goes the drop there. Oil was moving up. We're on a downtrend. Remember, this is a nice little move up so then we can go lower, that bear flag that Luna was talking about. With NQ, there's no short for me yet because you have these major EMAs there and you have the trend line. So when it breaks this here, then we have to see if it'll come back to retest the lows or go lower. But for now, we got to be careful that, or here you can try to take a long around 24,805, and that would be like for now, a scalp. And if it bounces, then you take that scalp and you ride it as much as you can to this next level. If it breaks down, then maybe you can take a short. Yeah, there's plenty. He was here, Blaze. Blaze, what I posted, did you see it? because I don't see it when I post it. It's pretty cool though. It's pretty cool what you said though here. Yeah, this is like people just posting away here. Oh, really? Why was he there watching you guys? That's weird. Okay. That's rejection. Oil breakout. All right. Here's the NQ possible come retest for a short. Here. We're going for that 95. Very nice. Missed that. I'm gonna take it on the green candle. This paper trade, because I was showing everyone how to get in a paper trade account. So I might as well just use this one. This is risky here because it's still I wanted to see it come up and then reject, but oil's rejecting here. I think we're gonna see a final push up on oil. There it is. Come on. Yeah. You're doing Luna, you can go and do paper trade on like I'm doing here. I was showing everyone how to open the paper trade here in TradingView, and you could trade along and just have a nice just play around with the price action so you can get a feel for it. Look at that. Look how nice. Look Look how nice. Look at that. 250, 270. Come on. There you go. There you go. There you go. Why I took it there? Because most of the time it tries to come to this pivot here and it finds liquidity in here. So I like to take it a little right before the wicks before the pivot. Look what it did right there. So nice trade there. We took it off of the rejection of that trend line there. Did you guys see that? Everybody went to sleep. See, that would be a nice trade that you'll be done for the night. $300, three something for one night, one trade. Not bad. You do that every day or in the night session and the day session, and you're done. And you're done. Thanks, please. Yeah. Yeah, that goes to show you, Luna. Yeah, it was 300. It was 300. Let me see. I don't think you can see it in this paper trade thing. Oh, look, I had an old order there. What the hell? This is me paper trading. Oh, yeah, that was the end of the day. But what can I see this? Yeah, it was like three something, that trade. It was a paper trade. I wish it wasn't. I had turned on the paper trade and I didn't want to put on my other account. But I had put it on so you guys could see. Anyway, but it was like 300 something. Oh man, my machine is so slow. Oh, nice, Tyler. Yeah, it was nice. Good trade. Good. How many trades? Look at that. It froze. There it is. Yeah. So I've been that was a paper trade because earlier I told everyone they should do I showed them how to get into the paper trade account in TradingView so you can follow along and stuff like that. But I wish I would have had my real account there. But anyways, it was still a trade, real time. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, exactly. I made 450 from oil today. Nice, Tyler. Yeah, oil is moving wild. And I have the micro there. The mini would be like literally, guys. If you see the mini, if I were to put the mini, just one spike up, you'll be like up $1,000 or down 1,000. That's why futures is you gotta have a nice narrow margin of error when you get into your trade. And if it's like right here, see when I got in here, you could actually see the entry right there, almost at the top, and I got out at this candle here. Look how nice that was. If this would have probably hit this area here, I would have gotten out quickly because most likely it would just get some force here, right? And then I'll have to get out a lot more. So in futures, it kind of teaches you, it'll teach you like, it'll hurt you. So you learn to get out, and then just reset. Along here, I don't know yet. I don't think it's that strong, and we could still have a nice move down because we're in a bigger time frame downtrend. So this could literally try to come back up and tap and then drop even lower. unless oil, we see a move, oil just drop. That's the thing. Oil's towards the top of the session high. So we'll have to break out to get to 95 maybe. So we have to see what happened here. It's playing around up here, see? Which shows you that there's some consolidation and this could want to probably break out higher. About 6 trades, most of it came from spike around. Oh yeah, right at the open, yeah. And that's the thing. I treat the open of 6 like the open of the New York session at 9:30, so I try not to trade it much. But it was a nice open today. And when you have all the markets correlating, so that's a good sign. When you have the NQ, the ES, doing similar things, oil was spiking, NQ and ES was dropping, so that was kind of like and they inversely correlated at the moment. So that was a good sign that you can FOMO, what we call in hot trades, what is it, what you call it, Bays? FOMO, what is it? Educate. Oh my God, I forgot what they call it. What you guys call it? Why are you watching the different instruments? What's the correlation? Please do. Yeah. I'm watching ES and NQ because those are the two most that people trade. Which is the NQ is the Nasdaq derivative. Educated FOMO. Yeah, Josh. The NQ is the Nasdaq derivative. S&P 500 is the SPY derivative, the ES, and then oil. So at the moment, oil and the equities markets are they're inversely correlated at the moment. So when oil is spiking, ES and NQ are dropping. I look at that a lot. I look at that a lot. I want to see if NQ is moving inverse from the ES, if there's a divergence there, stuff like that. But I use technicals as always, what you learn from us, the same technicals. But those are the top ones. I trade gold as well. Lately oil is what's moving, so people are watching more of the oil. So I wanted to kind of show, what it's doing. You see, it's kind of like finding some support at these pivot, create another pivot there near this 90, let's call it 91.84. Let's just say $92. So 92 and 94.50 is the range right now towards the top. So this could be a consolidation to move higher. And we're at the bottom of the we're doing like a little small bear flag here on the NQ. Yep. We just took that trade here off of the rejection of here. That was a nice move. And this small move here, Luna was surprised, but it goes to show you how futures moves. Just this small move here was almost $300, more than 300. If I would have had 2 contracts, that would have been 600, right? For the same trade, same move. 300, 3 contracts, 900. That's what Dan does. Dan trades small moves and maybe 2 or 3 contracts, and he can get $1,000 in 1 or 2 trades. Exactly. Yeah. When I don't see much of a movement higher, if I don't see much of a move, if I don't believe it's going to move higher, Luna, I don't take that trade long. I would rather take the reversal because I know that if it drops here, it might drop harder. So I can just stay in that trade if it goes down further, right? Because I will be against the trend at this moment. The higher time frame trend. So when you're at a higher time frame trend, you sell the pops, right? And if you're in a down and you're on an uptrend, then you buy the dips. Man, we were never able to go live on X. I gotta get better at sending the links to stock twits and all that stuff so we can get more people on here. But little by little, we'll catch up. If not, Blaze is gonna fire me. Yeah. You gotta admit, it's a little for the thrills. We gotta admit that. That happens. But you get on these like stock twits and all that, you get on there and there's a lot of people saying a lot of things. So you gotta be very careful too, right? Because then a lot of people will say that, oh my God, this is happening right now, and you might take a trade off of what somebody's saying and it's not true. So you gotta kind of like be careful with that. The news is always gonna affect the news is always affects oil. But remember, news is always there's like if you see during the day when somebody says something, you see all of a sudden a big drop or a big pump. It's because there's algos already watching that, and the minute it has certain news things that come up, it'll automatically sell or buy just to. But then it'll be selling at a certain level, and then it'll always follow technicals again. So the news will take you out a bit and then go back into following technicals. That's why you should always have your levels, just in case there's a big drop, a big movement because of news. You know that it was following something. When you have those levels, you're going to realize, oh, it just went down to the previous day low, a session low, an area, a previous pivot, a 4-hour pivot, something like that. When you look, you're always going to find that it's following some type of technical. Hi, Rob. So glad that you're doing this stream now. I just started trading futures last Wednesday. Oh, look at that. And I'm really liking it. Looking forward to learning a lot. Oh, I'm glad, man. We'll get better. I'm still I'm trying to get my feet wet here in the sense of streaming, and right now I'm noticing that my machine is like I have a lot of charts up. I have the algo up. I have things running. I have a bot running also for the Discord and stuff like that. So it's like holding up my machine, but I'll get my setup really good so we can really do some good stuff. So yeah, I'm happy too. Bring your questions, bring your, anything you want, and we can, talk about it. How do I trade Asia? I trade more the S&P 500 derivative. That's my love. Sometimes I trade gold, and every once in a while NQ. I trade the Asia session. I like to trade after 9:30ish, 10 o'clock. You see a nice move in the market. I trade levels. I trade the algo that I created. So I trade supply and demand. I look for confluence, right? So I took this trade earlier and I showed everyone. The algo was showing me an uptrend line here. It dropped to the trend line, which is correlating with the there was confluence with the 50 EMA and the VWAP. It broke below it, went back up, and I took that trade short. And I took it here, and we got out here. Nice move, good enough, right? And that could be good enough for the night. So I trade stuff like that, right? TradingView, yes, TradingView. You may need an alien word for this, yeah, yeah. Or maybe I keep joking around. I don't like. I'm a Windows guy, but if I have to use, I know the Mac Studios and the Mac Minis are amazing, and I could run Windows on them, I believe, parallel. So maybe I'll do something like that in the future, just because it has great specs. Geckos, yes, this TradingView. The algo is you can get it in TradingView through you gotta it's a paid one, bbalgo.com. I created it. There's always updates. Most of the people here use it. I update it a lot. I bring new things to the table, to the algo, so it's always getting better, and that's what I use. So I trade levels, and then I also I get levels through this trading system that I found through someone else called BK Brown. She has these she teaches like this levels of volume options volume, and then so I created an indicator for that options volume. So I plot the options volume, the end of day, and then in the overnight session and the next day you have those levels plotted, and they're spot on most of the time, because remember this the market is algorithmic. So you have people trading, but it's very algorithmic, so it's going to look to provide liquidity. And where's the liquidity? Where there's many, where there was orders transacted, especially in the options market. Since there's been options and futures, since there's been zero DTE options now and all these other options, it moves the market a lot. And the big players also use the futures market to hedge. So there's a lot going on. What did you send in Discord? Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it. Thanks. I'll check that. I know Alienware is good, and their Windows, so I'll check it. Intel Core Ultra GeForce RTX 50, nice. 64 gigs. Dang, yeah. But you know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for like a. I love that form factor that is like the small boxes, like the Mac Minis. Like I love that, and I know there's some that are like that Windows. So I love that small form factor. I really like it. So I gotta see if I find something like that. I'll check out the one that you told me. You get that one? Took a good while off trading, went for it today and came out even. Okay. So you've traded futures before? You can use prop firm as well. Prop firms allow you to, lose less of your own money. Regular stocks, okay. So you could join. I don't know if you join us through the day with Blaze. Hot trades, with Blaze. Blaze is during the day now. He trades stocks and momentum stocks, and I'm gonna be trading futures at night. Yeah, futures is like I said. There's they're contracts, not like options. There are options contracts for futures, but futures is just the derivative of the S&P 500 or the Nasdaq, and then you have oil futures, you have gold, soybean. I mean, so many different futures, and that's just they just they're just contracts that where big players can even take delivery on, let's say gold, on oil, whatever, but nobody really does. This is just more to trade it on paper. That's why silver, you see it manipulated a lot, because most people trade silver, but they're not really taking delivery on the silver, right? First time I'm watching live. Oh, nice. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool that we're getting people coming in from the day too. Yeah. So that we're gonna have something nice where I can explain a little more, but futures is just those types of contracts. The good thing about it is that they don't have Greeks like the options contracts, where you have they have data and all that. Like literally you just sell and buy, no issues with it. You just need to get a margin account through a broker or through a prop firm. It's similar to options, but you don't have Greeks. So literally you just sell and buy, and it's great because you can be in the trade as long as you want. So if it's going sideways here, sideways, and I took a trade here, I took a long, and I just want to hold this, and I put my stop almost at break even, and I want to see how far it goes up, and I'll put a stop all the way at the top, a profit target. I can do that, and it doesn't affect the value of the contract. So it's, I would say, even better than options in a sense. The only thing is, like Dan said earlier, it's unlimited risk. Like you can lose it all, right? Now with an options contract, if you got an options contract that's worth $300, then that's the most you could lose, right? The $300. Here, you hit sell and you forgot about the trade, or you didn't put a stop. It'll keep going. It'll take you negative, and the broker will liquidate you and then ask you to pay up. So it could be, you got to be careful with it. That's why it's nice to trade, through a prop firm, or if you have your own account. Honestly, to survive in any trading, you need to be humble. You have to have your profit targets. You have your daily losses, your daily loss limits, daily targets, right? So you see a lot of people in hot trades now say, I'm done for the day. I made my target, right? That's the way you survive in trading. You survive in trading by being able to have your targets, understand when you have so if your target is 100 a day, to say a number, $200 a day, then that should be maybe your loss, right? Or maybe if you want it to be 300, and then your daily loss limit will be 200, right? So you hit $200, you're done for the day. I'm not trading anymore. I'll reset for tomorrow, and that'll help you survive. That'll help you survive. But if you revenge trade and all that, and that all comes to also it comes also to psychology, right? The psychology of the trade. Psychology is 80% of this, more than anything, right? Because I can give you the right setup, the right tools, the right strategies, everything, and you can still F it up because you'll stay in it too long. You'll overthink it. You won't get in a trade. You'll get in too late. You won't put a stop. So you can always, you always mess it up here, right? So you have to trade very mechanical in a sense. We're all emotional creatures, but you become less emotional when you use more of a technical and of a trading, what is it? A trading methodology where you use it always, right? So I'm always going to do this. I'm always going to do that. And that's what you do. And every time you break that is when you mess up. Is most of the time you're going to realize that. It happens to me as well, and it's always going to happen. Even if I'm not saying I'm perfect, I do that. I do it sometimes, and then at the end I'm like, why did I do that, right? And hey, it happens. We're human beings, but it should happen lesser and lesser the more you trade. So here we have another goal for oil, trying to make it back to the break to the top. If you see these little yellow lines here, you see how they're respecting it a bit. This is the VWAP. This is a VWAP, but this is the standard deviations of the VWAP. So this would be your VWAP here, and then the standard deviation, one standard deviation above it, and two above it are these. These are also sometimes nice little targets. So the algo has many tools, and I sometimes turn them on and off just to see what price action is respecting. Some days it could be respecting a 50 MA. Some days it could be respecting the kernel. It could, a 20 MA, the VWAP, standard deviation of the VWAP. You want to see what the market is doing, and the algo allows you to turn on things and turn off things just to see what it's doing. And then I'll just turn it off. Or if I see it respecting it, great. Then I'll trade off of that. See, it came here, here again, and it's finding some resistance. If you didn't have the standard deviation on, you would be saying, why is it doing that? Why is it stopping here? I don't know why. I have a pivot up here. I have a pivot up here. It broke out here. So why is it staying right in the middle? Like, I don't get it. And that's a standard deviation right there. That if you didn't have it, you wouldn't know. So those are nice little things to have, The algo's there for you to, it becomes like eyes for you to see. It's not, our algo is not something that you're going to be in there and it's going to say buy, sell here, and, and all this stuff like other algos do. And you buy and you don't make money anyways. This is more like confluence. You want a lot of different things that are going to tell you the same thing, right? So if I'm in a like that trade I took earlier, I was in an uptrend near 50 EMA, near a 50 EMA, near the VWAP, a rejection. So all that, I had three things telling me that this most likely is going to drop. And then I take my trade a little. I feel there's a higher probability. Yeah. So maybe I'll stay till 10:30 and then we'll get off if we don't see anything else happening. Because same thing again, the move happened early, and now maybe we don't see anything till maybe midnight again. But I'll give you my thesis. I've been doing that every night before getting off. So I'll give you my bias. Let me plot my levels, and I'll show you them. And then if you guys want to take a picture of it before getting off, and then you guys can plot them and see if it goes out. So far, I'm 2 for 2. We've been plotting it. We've been talking about it, and it works out overnight. So I'll do that again. Let me just get my here something quick. All right. Actually, I'm going to plot something real quick here. To SPY. Right. Yeah, I got some levels there. Export. Okay. Let me go to the chart and show you guys. I'm going to open this up. So for those in Discord, I give you these levels. So this is the level for today. Let's see them plot out. Are they on? Coming right back down. Why is this not working? Did I put the right levels? Oh, I put this. I put the SPY. Hold on. Sorry, guys. My bad. There we go. They should come up in a minute, a second. There they are. Okay. Look at this. Fell right in that box I put there. Okay, so the lower PDVR means this is the lower part of the range, the previous day or the end of day close range of volume. So when we're under this and most of the volume is above, it's like what happened the other day. This might want to gravitate back up if it doesn't go any further. But we have a nice little last put block here at 6,700 and a high volume put block there. So this is a level where it might want to come and grab liquidity to go. So I would like to see a move down here somewhere, or even a wick down to then start moving back up overnight or tomorrow at the open. We'll see. If it stays down here, I expect this to move back up to where there's volume. And I'll tell you something else. This is how you match this, right? Now, if I go to here and I maybe turn on the profile, the profile showing me a B-shaped profile. So most of the volume dropped down here. So that's interesting. If the volume dropped down here, we might stay down here for a bit to drop lower, but we have to see what happens overnight. But I'm thinking that it might kind of like come down here, and if oil doesn't pop any higher, then if oil goes higher, it's going to push this down more. But for now, our levels are above, so I'm thinking we're near a bottom. I don't like to call bottoms out, but we're near a bottom based on volume. Okay. And put blocks or areas where there's like a call, what they call a put wall, is an area where market makers have to hedge, okay? Because if not, they'll get squeezed, gamma squeeze, right? So they wanna be able to hedge the cells. They have to. Not everybody will be in the money, and everybody. So they gotta kind of like hedge that, right? So that's my thesis overnight. The same it should be very similar to the NASDAQ, the NQ. We'll plot the NQ levels. If you want, take a picture of that. This is, I'll even show you my, what's up, John? Bless you, bro. God bless you. Something like this, right? Or even like this. Okay, I'm expecting something like that. And then a break to try to come above here. Okay, that's the key. If it was bullish, if it comes right back over here again, over this lower, PD, or if it's over here, then we might over 67.40 or 67.50. Then we have this is now an area where we might start getting bullish again. We have that 200 EMA and this downtrend liquidity. So I would say anywhere above here would be bullish again, going back into a balance. Okay, that's my thesis for overnight. For the NQ, should be very similar. We're underneath as well. I don't see any put blocks below. So, actually, nothing. We have this is a 1 hour area of a 1 hour area of support or structure. So the same thesis, it would be something like this. Test this low session, or maybe even lower. Then I want to see it come retest back up over here, and then try to make a move back up over 24,900. Okay, you see how this lines up here, the CDVR with this downtrend line. So around 24,800, let's call it. 24,800 is going to be a key level for it to kind of like continue to go higher. So that's my overnight. If not, then we're going to try to make a move back down to this 24, let's call it in the center, 24,562, 565. You want to take a picture of that or draw that out, and then that will be my thesis for the overnight, for the NQ, and for and then oil. Oil has to break out over 95 for it to really start moving back up to try to move back over 100. And it would have to be they would have to be bad news that they're not expecting for it to break out over 95. I think again, it has to be like bad news, right? Like news that we're not expecting for it to really move above, I would say 95, and make that move up against a 100. If not, I think we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be topping out always between 95 and 97-ish, I would say. The news is the only thing that's gonna make this breakout even more. Uncertainty, in the Middle East with with oil. The U.S. said that they're going to release strategic reserves. Those strategic reserves are not enough. They're only taking out like 1 point something million, and you need 3.3 million barrels a day just to cover the demand that there is, right? So they just do that to kind of fake people out, right, and keep a little bit of balance, but the market knows that already. So yeah. With that being said, I think we're gonna leave it there. Thanks for joining, guys. I had some issues connecting to X, so we have fewer people today. But share, please, like, so we can get more people on here. If you're in different what is it like what do you call it, like stock tweets or X or whatever, just share them on the socials. Let them know that we're here in the evenings. I'm gonna be Mondays, Tuesdays. I'll try Wednesdays. If not, it's gonna be Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Friday, we're out. On Fridays, market closes at 5. So we won't be back again till Sunday. Sorry, I meant Sunday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Sunday the market opens again. Futures opens up at 6 p.m. Sunday. So I'll be back here tomorrow, and then we'll be back on Sunday again. So thanks again, guys. See you, Chris, Don, John, everybody. Good night.